All right, everybody, and welcome to a very special GSA event. A little over a year ago, we started out with a 120-star relay tournament basement through through kind of CCM, which is like right before DDD, and then we're gonna do back to. I know that maybe I shouldn't have said this, but like back to Cheese and back to Punky and Liam for CCM through Tiny Huge Island, and then switching again for THI to the end. So we're just gonna have like a few different switching. So each run is gonna do 2 segments instead of just 1. So that's how this one's gonna work. It's gonna be a little bit different, and also that means they're each gonna have 2 chances to try to beat the other player that they're head-to-head against. So this is gonna be a pretty sick race, and a lot has happened recently. We have a world record. The 139 milestone has been broken by the one and only Cheese yesterday, about 24 hours ago, with a 138.51, a brand new SM64 world record, and a new minute barrier breached. 3 days ago, Paracusia clocking in with a 140.08. He's been on the cusp of 139 for a long time, and definitely a world record contender in the near future. LiamKings a couple weeks ago dropped his first 139 with a 139.57, or actually 56 retimed. And Punke has been on the grind recently, doing world record attempts and been really close to it. His PB is still a 139.36, and it's almost 2 years old. So all these players are in tip-top form right now.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have asked for 4 better players to just come together for this sort of thing. And it looks like we're about to get the countdown and getting ready to go here. Before we get started, make sure if you haven't already, if you have the money, please subscribe. We've had a couple of subscriptions up and down that we've seen just before the race started. And then, of course, those commands, exclamation point, schedule to see the full schedule of everything that we have to offer here at GSA. It is a full schedule of just so many races. Celeste, SM64, a little bit of, just a little bit of everything. Exclamation point YouTube, or exclamation point YT for the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to that. All of the reruns are on there, some clips. If you've missed any races, or if you just want to rewatch something, check that out. And of course, we've got the merchandise, exclamation point merch in chat.
So we have LiamKings and Punke facing off in the first segment, and Liam has been doing pretty much like 8+ hour streams almost every day. So when he gets out of the lobby, it's a really good pace. But in this kind of setting where you can't just reset over one mistake, he's going to have to deal with some mental stress that's not the same as what you do in the normal run, because it's more of just the wear and tear of grinding for a good run. But this is just pushing past a mistake and having to continue. So we're going to see if that is something he can overcome today. And Punke has been pretty cool in races. Definitely a consistency monster in the first season of the 70-star league. So I've got high hopes for him. Liam's going to definitely give Punke a run for his money, though. Looking a little shady or sloppy here, missing the bomb. He can recover this with a nice grab, and he does. So Punke getting a nice 2-second lead. LiamKings right behind him, though. Not going to give him too much breathing room.
Yeah, a couple early mistakes there from Liam, but nothing too crazy to talk about here. Just getting the jitters out, getting the beginning of the race started. Going to be heading into Womps now.
Yep, we're not doing LBLJ this run. We're going to keep it starting off with bomb clip, so that way we don't have any like weird meltdowns at the very beginning of the race. And we're going to probably see some Expert Cycle 100 coin from LiamKings. We'll see if Punke wants to go for it or not. He's going for the safe tree route. So LiamKings actually looking like he's going to go for Cannonless. Owlless? Okay. So LiamKings has got that one, and Punke's hit the blue switch. This cycle is pretty lenient, and he really likes to do it in races. He's going to go pretty slowly on this double jump kick, double jump dive. And Liam's back in here. Punke coming around the piranha plant. Pretty good job to get that blue coin and still avoid the wall. You don't want to bonk there. You can fall down and lose a lot of time.
Yeah, this cycle on Punke's side, just absolutely epic. Liam getting that first try Cannonless. So first try Alice and first try Cannonless, 2 pretty standard tricks done here in Womps, but messing up on either one of those can kind of be a little bit jarring. So Liam getting past that pretty nice. And we see him working on that pro cycle for 100 coins now.
Barely got that there. Yeah, LiamKings a lot tougher to make this cycle. We'll see if he can make it, though. He's definitely on pace for it. You just don't want to have any big mistakes early on. Losing a bit of speed here. All right, he's still on. Pretty good. Okay, missed 1 coin. That is fine. You can miss 2. Okay, going up for Alice here. And LiamKings also getting pretty bad blue coin RNG, opting to just stay on the ground and collect it. Okay, tried to go for a riskier jump collection. And LiamKings still going to take that 100 coins, so probably going to save a couple seconds here on Punkay. But you saw him, he's already got Alice done. So by the time he gets his 5th star, they'll be properly synced again.
Well, Punkay missing that Alice first try. Gonna be a little bit frustrated with that. Liam might be able to make a little bit of time off that.
Yeah, you're right. I just completely missed it then.
But now working on cannonless here, setting up. Texture looks good, and he gets it.
All right. So Team Congo back in the lead. I don't know how they came up with that name.
Yeah, both these team names are pretty interesting. But Wild Blue pretty much free. And as a reminder to everyone in chat, Liam and Cheese are on Team Congo. Punkay and Para are Team Cyclops there. Liam hitting up towards that big womp with the lead.
Yeah, we're going to see here if LiamKings can keep that lead going out of womps. I would guess he does, but there can always be some weird hurdles to overcome on these last 2 stars.
Both these guys using that side method for big womp. You know, that side method of getting off of him can be kind of tricky just simply because of the hitbox that big womp has. You know, you can kind of slide down in an area that you wouldn't expect to, but both guys avoiding that pretty nicely. All we got to do is take care of top of that fortress. You know, just quick little movements.
Yeah, not too much
crazy.
Yeah, LiamKings looking to get, you know, 550 something, and Punkay maybe like 7 seconds behind. 551, pretty good. You know, in terms of, oh, what? Punkay did not get that triple jump dive, losing another like 5 seconds or so there. All right, heading into JRB now. This is going to be pretty interesting because they both go for the frame walk, and this isn't something we really had people do in 120 star. We always just did the cannon shot until like Siglemic did it at pace, and then some people were debating like, hey, is this like good for runs? And then we decided that, yeah, you can just get a different controller for it, and that's what people do. So it's a pretty new evolution in the run. Okay, so for the relay, it's gonna be LiamKings and Punkay. They're gonna play until they finish Bob on Battlefield, where they're gonna have 26 stars out of the 120. And then when that happens, on the save screen, the other player's gonna take over. You'll see the timers change below their names because it's just gonna flip to the other stream. And they have a file already created to continue from that point. They're gonna go until about halfway through the run before you go back downstairs to do Dire Docks and Fire Sea. And then they're gonna switch again in Tiny Huge Island, so that way the 4th segment will still have like the second runner. They'll both do 2 segments each to finish out the run.
Our
so, yeah,
restreamer
gonna take over when
our restreamer Milo getting his work in, obviously having to flip between those screens. But into JRB now, a little bit slower section just because of all this water. Gonna be seeing a lot of camera movement to avoid that lag. Liam heading straight into that ship. Going to be clipping into this.
Yep, one clip. Nice. This is actually a fairly difficult star, even though it's a pretty slow-moving one. Swimming around these chests optimally is pretty difficult. And then just getting the ship clip as well. There's like a bit of an instant clip you can do, but that's, you know, nowhere near guaranteed. It's just kind of on a happy accident if it happens. And missing ground pound, they gotta cost a couple seconds too.
Yeah, it's tough. Punkay looked like he had a pretty. You were talking about that insta clip. It looked like he almost got that, just about. Not getting the ground pound either. Gonna have to re-ground pound for the box.
Pretty surprising that they would both miss the ground pound. All right, LiamKings. Let's see what he's got. He is going for that pillar. All right, frame walk engaged.
Look at that.
And okay,
Oh, he
going right for
nails
that jump. Nice job from Liam. Some call it cheats. I don't know if it is or not. I think that's something we still have to decide as a community, but that's pretty sick, both of them getting it. I mean, it's not a technical feat if you have the cheat controller, so it's kind of, that's the debate more like, because you can't really do it on analog stick. Jaws did it on Hori, but that was like, you know, not very easily replicable.
Working on 100 on Liam's side. Punkay gonna be heading for this jet stream star. Gotta be moving at full pace. You know, you gotta be making sure that you're hitting that A button correctly so that you can make those swim animations in the right pattern so that you can keep up that speed, and then you have to have that angle just right. It's a pretty free angle generally speaking, but if you go just a little too far left or right, you're gonna get pushed out.
Yeah, that's one case where like proper swimming is actually noticeable, but throughout the course of the stage you're gonna see just a lot of swimming, and since we don't really have the audio for both, you won't be able to hear it, but the kind of whoosh whoosh sound is kind of like how you would want to be swimming when you're doing it properly. There's also just a lot of taking good angles and lag reductions that Liam's doing here through these clams, and Punkay getting that second clam is actually one of the most difficult ones, so it's definitely a lot more in depth than it looks. I guess that might be a swimming pun, but no, it's really just a lot of practice involved.
Really nice wall kick there on Liam's side. Gets the triple jump. Taking care of 100 and red coins at the same time.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, Punkay kind of going for this. You just spam B to go up this wall since it's like a steep slope, but underwater. Just the way the game works just allows you to kind of ascend it. All right, Liam, I think he's got a few more stars left. Well, he definitely has 3 left. He's got Jetstream, the Eel, and the Treasure in the Ocean Cave. Pretty easy stars. I wouldn't expect any big mistakes here. 100 point is definitely the most difficult, and then followed by the Sunken Ship, which is the first star. So just a lot of like little things that you might be able to save seconds on, but not too much time.
Oh, Punkay, a couple more mistakes trying to move on this rocking ship, not able to get that optimal movement. Gets a ledge grab, and because of the way that the ship moves, he gets knocked off of that ledge. So a couple extra seconds there given to Liam pretty freely.
Yeah, it kind of sucks for Punkay, but he's only made minor mistakes so far. We've yet to see any real big difference between them. So Liam's just gotten a lead through a little bit better execution, and Punkay making like maybe 3 minor mistakes that Liam hasn't. So this is really good pace for Liam. Punkay missing the clip though, that's actually pretty bad because it doesn't save very much time. But if you miss it, you do lose a substantial amount because you have to go all the way over for the eel now. Alright, swimming down into that star, it's fine. But another dub for Team Congo.
Liam heading over for that exact clip. Gets it.
Nice. That's only a small time save. It's like a second or not even though it looks like a very impressive skip. So the splits beat up, they are BOB, which is 26 stars, kind of out of lobby. Then there's CCM 59 stars, which is kind of after basement and banish cap. Then there's THI 88, which is like through all of Fire Sea and then Wet Jar World and THI upstairs, and then it's from there to the end.
Well, into Peach's slide. Now get those guesses out in chat. Liam lined up pretty well. I'm gonna guess nice 12-6 from him. 12-8.
I think Punkay can do 12-7. Team Cyclops definitely needs something going for them. Alright.
Wingcack breads. You know, we talk about swimming. Let's talk about flying now.
Yeah, flying is definitely a nuanced form of movement where it's really all about finesse. If you're flicking the analog stick at all, you're probably not doing it right. There's only a few times when you're going around turns that you'll even hold it like most of the way. But usually it's just kind of very slightly around the neutral zone, holding a slight angle, because like Mario, he will kind of normally bob up and down, and Punkay missing those first two reds here, so he's gonna have to like pull up a little bit and get these next two. Loses about 3 seconds. But like the way the flying works is like you have to hold slightly forward for Mario to not like fly up and down, just for him to go steady. So that's kind of how you'll do a lot of these like straight sections, and also you'll kind of loop by going slightly down and slightly back up again. So it's like a lot of very fine-tuned, precise thumb movements. I mean, it doesn't have to be that precise, but to do it well, you definitely have to know what you're doing. One of the biggest things that new players struggle with, I would say, like no one's immune to it.
So far, 3 12-8s that we've seen so far. Liam heading into Dark World as Punkay is finishing up this second Peach slide.
Oh,
4 12-8s.
That's shameful. Just kidding. Not the best slide times though.
Dark World, you know, all these Bowser areas, all about cycles. These guys have these down to a science, essentially. Liam not going for that rollout there. Keeping it safe. TG4AC, thank you so much for the sub hype in chat. We appreciate it.
Odd. You might want to have your sync emote ready in case something happens. Not to curse. Alright. Liam getting that Chig cycle. And Punkay going for Chig as well. Definitely better for races. Zyre cycle can save over a second, but it's not worth it for the increase in difficulty. Nice double firsties from Liam.
Oh, and Liam gets a dance. Saves a little bit of time there in that Bowser fight.
Yeah, good stuff. Good RNG. Punkay also double firsties here. Looking like some 16 runners out here. But probably won't get the dance as well. If he did, I would probably go buy a lottery ticket. Just kidding. Never do that.
Punkay getting the lesser of the RNG. But getting that first throw. Head back into BOB though. Two very nice Dark Worlds otherwise on both sides of the screen.
This is very solid from LiamKings. I can't even think of a big mistake he's made. Like, this is kind of like a normal run that he would have on a PB attempt. Where I think Punkay, a little worse than he would like, but not even that bad. Liam's just playing very well.
Yeah, he's like you said earlier, you know, he's been on that grind, just playing every single day for what he's playing it as if it's his job at this point, you know, 8 hours a day. You know, putting in that time, putting in that work. He's getting that 139 finally. You know, when you're doing runs over and over again, resetting, you're getting these early parts of the run really down to a science. So obviously Liam, you know, showing off. that practice really pays.
Yeah, not too surprising, but then again, Liam has many fewer, or people like Punk have many more years under their belt than LiamKings. He's only played the game for about 2 years now. Meanwhile, Punk's got like 6 years, maybe more. I would say like 7. So it's pretty impressive. And Liam is also one of the players who really puts a lot of effort into watching their XCams, and XCam meaning like individual start times in practice. And he's really been learning to do things optimally from the beginning. Paracusia as well. They're definitely more of like speed scientists, trying to get everything down as good as possible. They even had a bit of a duel over SSL Reds, which we'll see later in the run. Para and Cheese will do that one. And this is a new feature in BOB. Not really a feature, but optimization, where you can actually get a little bit faster Koopa movement when you go farther away from the mountain like this. So the Koopa normally goes at a set speed, and when you finish the race, he increases his speed. But if you're more than so many units out, he goes a little bit faster. So by doing this movement off the mountainside, you actually make the Koopas go like very marginally faster to the goal. But it's kind of cool to see this movement on the side of the mountain.
Well, there you can see the Koopas right there. You know, you could see him as you're being shot up the mountain. Typically, he's on the other side of that mountain while you're shooting yourself up there, so you don't really see him until he gets to the very tippy top.
Yeah, Punkay going for the cannon shot here. It's not really too difficult to beat the Koopa up here when you open the cannon. That's just kind of something we've done. Although there is a theory route where you do Koopa with 100 coin, but that's not really viable for a speedrun like this. Alright, Liam doing some sky jumps, kick up the hill, go for a nice butt slide, get some speed, get some air, get some stars. Not too much to it. Although he might have stored an angle there, we have to be careful. That means when he jumps out of the cannon, he'll like veer off sideways. No, he's good.
Opting for secrets first. Looks like Punkay is going to be starting to work on his 100 here in BOB.
Yeah, this star is very difficult and probably the hardest thing so far in the run. Or at least one of them. You have a good bit of RNG to deal with, and the flying, especially to get more coins out of the air, saves you a lot of time at the end with the pulls, because if you have to do 4 pulls, it's quite a bit slower than if you can do 3, even with the box. So depending on how many coins they get out of the air, they're going to be able to do different endings. So you want like 51 going into the cannon optimally, so you're going to try to fly around these 2 rings here if you can. Punkay getting every coin, I think. No, he's down 1. That's not too bad, though. Alright, Punkay with the turnaround. That's the most critical part. Getting 66 is pretty decent. I would say that's at least above average. Or at least average if you're a really good player. This should be a box in 3 pulls.
Uh-oh, Liam.
Liam.
Yeah, Liam falling down there, not getting a good angle for chain chomp, that chain chomp area. Gonna be losing about, I'd say, 4 or 5 seconds there. It's Punkay, so Punkay be able to make up a little bit of time as long as he's able to keep the end of this clean.
Yeah, Punkay gonna save some time here for the first time, like in this entire run. He's actually gonna get some good gains over Liam here. We'll see how Liam finishes this 100 coin though. Ooh, that's not great. 55 coins. This is dire straits for LiamKings. He got up to 61, but he still needs all 4 pulls. So Punkay really reaping in that time save. And by the way, this is the last star for these 2 runners here. Cheese and Punkay, or Cheese and Para, will take over for basement from here. So Punkay might actually be pretty close to making up with Liam's time.
Oh, terrible RNG on
That's
Liam's
terrible.
side. Yeah, absolutely just horrendous RNG there. Only getting 1 coin from that box. These guys are getting ready to switch off.
Well, I'd say it's for the better that this mistake happened at the end of Liam's segment, because then he has time to untilt before he has to play an upstairs. So, or DDD 100 especially has been a killer for pretty much everyone at the top level. So you'll have some time to catch his breath, watch Cheese, and try to come back and kill it again. 23:38 is his final fade out. Cheese back on screen, and this is going to be the next segment whenever he starts going. Need a handoff, need a practice or baton handoffs, I guess. Team Congo, apparently not to practice in this regard. Maybe we're trying to resync it. Oh snap, we got a Robert.
Oh, Punke. Or Para.
I want, okay.
So Para for sure heading downstairs. But Cheese, not sure what's going on.
I wonder if his stream's frozen. Okay, on Cheese's screen, he has already gone to SSL. He has 28 stars, so I think it's on our end.
Okay, we've got him now.
Okay.
So a little bit of confusion there. Unfortunately, not seeing Cheese take care of that first, looks like first star in SSL. But Para doing a nice job there with that plus.
Yeah, I hope he didn't miss reds, because I think Cheese probably went for plus and topless. So we'll see reds after this star. This is also Paracusia playing instead of Punke now.
Here we go!
Both doing a pretty nice job so far in SSL. She's going to be heading into the pyramid. Taking on IROC.
All right, reds for Para. Knocking the speed kick off the bat, though. Losing a little bit of time. Getting the single jump first frame there to the box. That's pretty insane. Getting a lot of fight speed, too. Para is so notorious for these optimal aggressive flight patterns where he pretty much touches the quicksand, but he doesn't care because he knows he's got it. Now, this is another frame perfect input. A Z press to slide very quickly on this slope. And he's got it, too. Lots of speed for Paracusia, but not getting this double jump. So one frame off of perfection here, but he's going to still survive and show off a really nice strat.
Well, I mean, those reds are just so technical. You don't see them in 70 star, obviously, so it's tough to see. But, you could just see just how that flying was on Para's side. Just really, really nice.
And we didn't miss it from Cheese, so he's going to have to go at it now. He's got a lot to live up to, but maybe a little bit of room to improve on what Para was able to show. Nice speed off the triple jump. Actually, maybe not as much as Para got. So flying will lose a couple of seconds here. Para nice topless. There's a lot going on in SSL all the time, but both these runners handling it pretty well so far.
Let's see if...
Jeez,
oh,
no!
no!
Okay,
Yeah.
ledge grab, so close.
Wow, that was a very, very close to a death.
That's a good
jump
backup
over.
there.
Yeah,
Really safe.
opting to jump over the blockhead there, getting a little spined there as well.
But that was pretty tough. Cheese, he's lucky to be out of that one alive, but Para is hot on his tail right now. All right, 100 coin here is one of the more difficult stars in the run as well. It relies a bit on RNG here and also on the first Poke. Cheese opting to kill that ball bomb, but missing the coin. Para is actually looking to take the lead right now. Get your sinks out right now. Here we go. Coming around the outside here, you have to kill quite a few pokies, but there's also some flying involved, which both Cheese and Para are very good at. They're missing that glitchy double jump onto the pillar, so now they're in sync right here, flying through the boxes. Wow.
Wow,
okay,
look at that sync.
Perfect. Now breaking this box from the pillar requires you to like pull alternate directions, so you actually fall into the pillar while the box breaks. That way it won't bounce you off of the pillar in return. And that slope right there is kind of annoying, but Cheese deals with it well. Para losing a little bit of time floundering here, but managing to get the triple jump and activate the pillar at the same time, which is really important to actually open up the pyramid top once you get up here. She's gonna get in here a little bit ahead. Oh, you can't. Okay. Oh, Para also a bit sketchy. Gotta avoid the fly guy. All right, if you die there, that's pretty catastrophic. But Para's also gonna save some time in the pyramid potentially, going for that glitchy ledge grab or kind of bong. Oh, no, he's missed the third secret.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get back up. He looks like he's gonna attempt the backup.
Not getting it first try.
Looks like he's gonna try for it again.
That should work. Okay.
There you go.
She's also not getting that sickle dive.
Don't grab the star, Cheese!
Yeah. I don't know what he did there.
A little bit of spaghetti on both sides of the screen. Able to mitigate it.
Para missed 1 point on sickle dive, but it's not too bad.
He's gonna need to get one Goomba before collecting that 100. Cheese finishing it up.
Yeah, that was a scary, scary start for both of them.
Well, the big thing there was, you know, fixing the mistake. You know, Para missing that third secret, going back to back that up. Cheese having a little difficulty there with coin count, almost collecting that secret star. You know, if he had collected that, that would have been catastrophic for 100s. Well, into HMC now. And she's right off the bat going for this 100 coins.
Yeah, super difficult start here. Very technical in the maze, in the elevator area he's entering here, and even in the ending. There's a lot of time to be lost from very little things. It's very difficult and takes a lot of practice. See, that's even one of them. A lag reduction by turning the camera the opposite way would save like maybe half a second or so. I'm not sure how much. Oh no, Cheese missing the long jump. He's gonna have to get the elevator again. This is huge. Para might be back in the lead here. So you want to get on the elevator and trigger it, and then once you get back here, you'll jump on it before it stops blinking. So Cheese got that part down, but then this long jump he missed. And Para with a nice movement there to get all the coins in the air. Really fluid. Oh no!
Just missing
That's
the
so
bonk.
difficult.
I mean, you're getting to see here just how difficult it is, you know, to take care of this Cheese. I mean, he has the world record for HMC overall, but it's not. It's very difficult. He got it the other day.
I think his like gold split was really good for not having HMC BLJ, but the stage RTA is someone else. Nice. Oh, missed the BLJ for Para though. That's, you know, pretty. I don't even know what to say, man. It's a tough thing to do, perhaps, but that was just a drop mash, and that's not really something you can really afford to do against Cheese. All right, second try. He's got it. Cheese, meanwhile, catching up and getting through on the second long jump. This is really tough and really tight right now for both these runners. We'll see if Para can keep his lead through the end of the start. There's a little bit of RNG here from this eyeball, but there's also the the necessity to run around him to activate him, and then getting this triple jump wall kick to grab the block in the air. This eliminates the need to use the elevator at all for any of these like last 4 coins. Okay, so not perfect RNG. Cheese can get the stars spawned up here though.
Yeah, a little bit poor RNG, but happy to get out of that. Fortunately.
Alright, so that was a pretty crazy HMC 100, showing just how difficult a lot of these stars are. If you see the PB video, you see the world record, you know, it's hard to tell what's hard and what's not, but HMC is hard. And pair with the BLJ, can you get it? Yeah, there we go. That's one thing that Cheese is not going to be doing, I don't think. He's doing talking maze normally. So there we go, Para flexing. And that's something he was one of the first to implement and really bring it into RTA. Neither Cheese or Liam do it. Both Para and Punkay do. So it is a bit of a schism between the two teams here. Alright, coming down to Metal Cap. The hardest remaining star in HMC for sure. So runners like to get what's called blinkless, which is where you grab the star before the metal cap starts blinking. It has a pretty short timer, so if you really make any mistakes, wow, what a pillar from Paracusia running between the wall of the cage and the kind of bar on the right. She's doing the same thing with a wall kick. Easy blinkless from Paracusia.
Yeah, looks good on Cheese's side as well. 2 very nice blinkless metal cap stars there.
It's so crazy that after almost losing a run in HMC 100, they both just come back and hit the next star, and the next 2 just with full steam.
Para missing that double jump wall kick. Opting to back it up with Christmas Miracle. Cheese. Getting that triple jump off the box. Nice dive as well.
Yeah, Cheese appears to be in the lead, but the Christmas Miracle star, Metalhead Mario, can move is about 10 seconds longer. So it's going to be still in Para's favor if he doesn't make any more mistakes.
Yeah, he's just got to get this turn right here. Get the right angle on that wall, which he does. You know, that can be, it can be so tricky, you know, getting the right angle for the wall kick while also not, you know, falling off into that hole.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, there's only a couple stars left in Hazy Maze Cave, and then we're through with Basement. Or the 2 hardest stages in Basement, which are, I would say, definitely some of the hardest in the run. And they've had their share of mistakes, but I think both runners are coming out unscathed, but still alive. And it's such a good race to see that they both make similar mistakes, but are pretty even matched. And we're 37 minutes in. Alright, Rolling Rocks, pretty good. And now we're gonna talk to Toad and get on out of there. We've had enough of the dim, dark, Hazy Maze Cave. And now we're gonna go into the fire beneath lava, and not as hard of a stage, but you know, I think there's quite a few places where you can lose time. No lava boost in 120 star though, it's gotta be said.
Yeah, that's the nice part about 120 star lethal lava land, you know, you don't have to worry about that particular trick. So most of it's pretty straightforward. And
He's
so
messing up
Cheese,
on reds.
yeah, I say it's straightforward, but Cheese having a little difficulty here on one of the simpler stars here in Lethal Lava Land.
Yeah, and Para had a fantastic wing cap. You know, you get a lot of speed on flight if you get a good speed kick, which he did, and out of the jump dive, it was a pretty fast star. And going for ledge grab skip bullies, that was ambitious, but it's not going to pay out because he ledge grabbed on the raft. And taking another jump to go the last one. So a couple of seconds possible for Cheese to save, but Cheese not really giving himself the best showing here in the first 2 stars. And these are like kind of the easiest. Reds, you know, kind of precise on the jump dive, but other than that, it's not very difficult. And Para is kind of just put on a show. Cheese is going to have to try to get his team back in the lead.
Both these guys working hard. Para on that elevator tour. Not much of an elevator tour. We're going to skip the tour completely.
Yeah. Alright, so these bullies are not the hardest stars, but Para messed up the first one. Cheese going for ledge grab skip bullies. Can he save the time here? Looks like he's got it. Yes, he does. And Para getting the right side ground pound on the big bully. So pretty good execution for both.
Yeah, really nice triple bully kill there. You know, Para having, yeah, you gotta be careful there with those blocks heading up towards the star. You know, you can get caught underneath that, and that's an insta death just about. We have seen a couple saves there, but it's very difficult. Oh no, and Cheese having difficulty entering in to the volcano. Cannot take a fall here. Needs to play very carefully.
It's all good. Neither of them did the quote optimal beginning movement to get to the lava. If you Mario Cams, he downs to your left and Gover kick to the right, you just laying in the lava like a couple frames earlier than what they did. 100 coin here for Para, getting the shell. This one is kind of cool to watch. Maybe not the hardest 100 coin, but if you lose your shell, then you're in a world of hurt. And honestly, you're kind of left out to dry. You can still do it without the shell, but it's a lot harder. It loses a ton of time.
You can see just how close behind Cheese is now. You got a really good idea of the time difference just after this star.
Yeah, nicer bully for Cheese, but Para's still in the lead.
Oh no! And Cheese losing the shell.
I might have jinxed it because that almost never happens at this level, at least. Cheese can still get in the elevator here with 80 coins, so not bad at all. Para with an unintentional lava burn.
That's a tough one on Cheese's side. You know, fortunately, losing that shell late into that 100 coins, so not harming his time too badly.
Yeah, not the cleanest volcano for either of them, but pretty good, I would say. They both got a burn that they weren't, or Para got another burn when he tried to roll out over the flame. Cheese didn't go for it, but was overall a bit cleaner for what he attempted. A Nips catch? Barely, okay.
Well, it looks like about 3 seconds worth of difference heading out of Lethal Lava Land. 2 nice little Mips grabs.
Now we're getting to... Oh, Para trying to do Mips clip here. Nice. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That actually changed the lead here. Mips clip is actually technically faster, but he didn't save any time with it, as you can definitely tell.
Well, almost close to a sync up. Maybe a second or two worth of difference now. heading into Vanish Cap. You know, Vanish Cap, this is one of those stages that, you know, I don't think anyone really looks forward to, especially with that ending with the elevators.
Yeah, this is so scary. All right, he gets the clip off the edge. They both do, so they're gonna make the fast cycle. Para has grinded this star like excessively. He's got a really good time on it, but sometimes that can come back to bite you in the wrong way. Nope, all good for him. See if we can get the Siglemic ledge grab skip to avoid the text. She's getting it, and Para as well. Pretty darn hot.
Get your Siglemics out in chat. I'll head back into VC just to get ourselves back into the castle more quickly. Into CCM now.
Okay. This is the last stage in segment number 2. After this one, we're going to get Punky and Liam back in here to duke it out on DDD 100, which is going to be definitely a turning point in this run, no matter what happens.
Well, wall kicks
wall kick.
not working there for Cheese, but working out just fine for Para. Switching the lead once again.
All right, solid backup for Cheese, but like you said, we've had so many lead changes, and in a 120-star race, this is about as close as you could possibly hope for. A couple seconds apart. Even when everything went awry in basement, they somehow managed to stay like within reach of each other.
Well, that's, you know, this is kind of the sort of thing that you expected from this kind of a race, especially with it being a relay. These guys are just so good at this category, and are so consistent. So any mistake made, they're able to, you know, the other person's able to capitalize on it, whereas those who do make the mistake, you know, they're able to subsidize that mistake and make it as minor as possible. Nice red coins on both sides of the screen. Cheese with the ground pound though.
Yeah, so on this star, there's been a few optimizations coming around. They both actually had a missed ground pound. Para was before long jumping to the warp, but he did the 2 optimizations that people started doing last year, where you mix up the coin order, so you actually get the one on the little wooden bridge before the warp, and then you go long jump back across the gap to get the one in the like corner behind the cliff. So that's a tiny bit faster. Then he went for the Fantax ending, which is where you do a jump dive instead of a long jump as the star spawns. Cheese went for a long jump and got a better ending. Paracusia tried to jump dive a little bit too early, but it can save like 0.1 if you do it well, and looks pretty cool because you actually land on the slope part, so you instantly roll out with one button and then you just jump dive immediately, and it's pretty nice. But it's harder and not really too relevant. We'll see if either of them go for the quote-unquote Pingu trick. It's more useful as a backup than as a go-to strat, because you have to land like very much at the edge of the cliff to get lower speed. But both of them getting in a decent penguin.
Here we go!
You can actually do a lag reduction if you Mario Cam and spam C left before getting the star spawn. And that saves a bit of time because you look at the penguin a lot when you get the star animation.
On to CCM 100s. Now this one's a fun one to watch. We've seen a couple of we've seen Saxdale's version of this. Kind of interesting. Now the guy going to be using that to their advantage here, though. And grabbing those blue coins before heading all the way down to the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, Cheese did a ballsy triple jump dive into the chimney. One of the few optimizations that you can really do on this star, where Paracusia did the normal jump kick jump dive into the chimney, and he missed a coin there. But Cheese, when you do that triple jump dive, it's quite common you miss one, which will put you on perfect coin count on the slide. He got all of them, but it's a lot of confidence to go for, or it takes a lot of confidence to go for.
You gotta have 85 to finish this up. Both guys have 85, so we're not gonna be seeing any major mishaps here in CCM.
Shout outs to Lancerity for ordering 164. He's 120 star runner on emulator. There you go. Shoutouts to Grogy. All right, we're still like 4 seconds apart.
Now, here we last star for CCM before
Are
we
you
get
ready
to switch
for
off
the
again.
hardest star in the run? Okay, Paracusia talking to the snowman. She's also talking to the snowman. Paracusia hitting the fence is what I'm talking about. Time going down the drain. She's probably gonna win the race now. Just kidding. You can actually save or you can lose a bit of time by not talking to the snowman instantly, and also by not backflipping into the star. I believe Para does both of these, but Cheese doesn't. See, Para stops in front of the star, and Cheese is just stopping under it to jump normally. You see how it's a bit slower. And the second switch is on. We're back to Punkay. Papa Pancake. About to knock out some scary ghosts. Him with a bong. Alright, so Ghost Hunt is a pretty interesting star, and it's one that Punkay practices a lot. Like, usually when he starts streaming, he just practices Ghost Hunt door skips for like half an hour. Or it just seems that way whenever I catch him. So right here, you can do... Okay, he's gonna kill the boot and long jump here to get through the door while the text box is loading. And that saves a bit of time here as well. Lets you get a faster kill on the second boot. Liam's not gonna go for it, but Punkay's showing off that nice little optimization that's pretty cool. You can actually do it on the last boo as well. We'll see if he can do it there. But it's a lot harder because you have to kill both boos and long jump pretty much frame perfectly to get through the door. Alright, let's see if he's got both boos there. Can he do it? Punkay nailing it, actually getting through the door, skipping the text box, and instantly getting that boo kill. That's so impressive. You don't see that very often at all. LiamKings not getting the door skip, very close though.
Yeah, kind of triggering. You get that right in the middle of that doorway, but Mario decides to walk back into the room. You know, really looking forward to this BBH 100 in particular. There's such fun movement, really interesting, something that you don't typically see.
Yeah, this outdoors part is the most difficult because you have a very limited amount of time to get through, kill the scuttlebug. Oh no, that's another punch. That even could be a big issue for Punkay if he has to chase coins. Okay, good RNG. He really needed that because these blue coins in here go away. See, that one was about to disappear if he was like a split second later. And the Vanish Cap will fall away a few seconds later. So always very scary here. Liam not killing the boos, a bit safer. And having more time on the Vanish Cap as well. Liam, nice job reading the boo. When he goes around the eyeball the other way, he decides to go off the near wall instead of the far one. It's a bit harder to see, but he's practiced both cases to be able to do it optimally no matter what RNG he gets entering the room. Pretty cool to see. Punkay not getting the cleanest like book kills. We'll see if Liam can save a bit of time here.
Yeah, Liam having to chase down that one blue coin. A little bit poor of RNG. Better RNG with these books though on Liam's side. Nice slide into a rollout ground pound.
Yeah, you want to avoid what's called the factory, which is where you drop all the way down to that pit. It doesn't kill you, but it sends you to the merry-go-round all the way at the bottom of the house, which loses like 45 seconds, I think. So when you fall off that slope, when it tilts, you can get a bong. So that's why we do a C-up slide there.
Yeah, BBH 100, really fun to see. Punkay heading back in. Liam close behind still. And I'm going to be taking on this carousel of boos. Really interesting way that they finish this up. You kind of get Big Boo into a corner. And you're able to grab that star almost instantaneously.
Yeah, good way to manipulate that Boo fight. Liam's going to be saving a little bit of time on each BBH re-entry. Punky goes for like a long jump and a dive rollout and ground pound. Liam's just going to long jump and jump dive here to just kill him on the slide. Oh, he actually missed it. I guess it's good that I point that out anyway because it is a small optimization, but since you do it like 5 times, you might be able to save like a second or so. Shoutouts to Bida for wearing some hot GSA merch. It actually looks pretty good.
All that GSA merch, exclamation point merch in chat. Make sure to check that out.
Here we go!
Alright, 2 stars left for Punky. Liam maybe, I don't know, like 10 seconds behind. So keeping it pretty close in BBH. I think Punky is put a little bit more time into practicing it. But LiamKings showing he's got it where it counts. And he's also been on some really good like BBH 100 coins. But hasn't gotten like a sick gold yet.
Big Boo on the balcony. It's gonna be
Nice long
difficult.
jump kill.
That star can be difficult just simply because you're not seeing where Mario is at as you're finishing this up. You're almost blind to a degree, and you're dealing with the angle of that roof, which, you know, unless you're kicking up the roof, Mario's gonna be sliding down it no matter what.
And Liam with that kind of, you know, XCam kind of practice and looking at those lag reductions, he saved a little bit of time on that star. You might not notice, but when he goes to kill the Boo, both he and Punky go into lag 2 cam, which reduces lag going up the roof of the house. When you ground pound, you want to go back to Mario cam, and Liam did that as well, but also ground pounding a bit more optimally. So just showing that even though he's much newer to the game, he's kind of been very much on top of what's new and what's good in 2019. Whereas Punky, I think he's just so good at some of the stuff he's done for years.
Well, Fluffy with the tier 2 subscription, 13 months into that subscription. Really appreciate it. A little subscription hype. Well, into Triple D now.
This is probably the star you really want to hold your breath for. Not a metaphor or, you know, a double meaning because you're underwater, but literally because it's one of the hardest things to do in the game under pressure.
Well, this second section, you know, when that whole tier list thing came out, there was a huge discussion where DDD deserved to be on the tier list. You know, whether you were one of the people who put it up higher because you thought it was interesting and fun, or if you were really against it because all it was 2 small sections connected by a pipe. But this second section for DDD 100, you know, the wall kicks that are involved are just insane. And you know how precise you need to be. And if you miss it, you know, you're falling in the water. And we all know how water is in SM64. It's just so slow. But Liam making up a little bit of time off Punky just based off point grabs. Punky having a little bit of difficulty.
Yeah, he missed 2 of them. You can only miss 1. He missed one of the second vertical row. And then when you go through the rings, it's hard to do those optimally. He missed 1 there. LiamKings did his rings without missing any, so you could skip 1 of that. But Punky actually had to go back up for the rings. So Liam pretty much able to tie it up here. And we're actually seeing coming onto the sub. This is a big gamer moment for both of these guys. Let's see if they can get the sub. Alright, I think they're both going to go for some pretty good strats here.
Well, this is where you pull out the big gamer brain, like you were saying. These wall
Punky
kicks
needs to do
right
more
here.
wall kicks. Oh my god, Liam taking the lead here with those extra wall kicks from Punkay coming around to the front sub. He's got it now. This triple jump dive is hard. Liam not even bothering to set it up, going right for it and getting it. And Punkay right on his tail now. Liam also is going to do a long jump wall kick here. I think Punkay does as well. Yep. That's new as well to save some time.
This could end up with a sink if these guys aren't careful.
I mean, there's plenty of water to fill that sink as well. Like, we're in the dire docks. And there we go.
Wow.
Fully synced. DDD 100 going great for both of them.
Well,
but Punkay struggling a little bit early on, but making up that time in the end.
Well, Punkay had that front sub just a little bit nicer than Liam, so he was able to make up a little time and actually gain the lead just before they grabbed they went for that triple jump. Obviously, Liam going for the insta triple jump, holding on to the lead. But we have synced up chests now. Oh, but Punkay missing the third chest is going to have to come back around and grab it. Going to lose about 4 seconds just based off that.
Had to ruin it.
That's a tough one. You know, we talk about swimming, but those chests can be so finicky. And speaking of finicky, we also got the manta rings here in a minute.
Yeah, manta is pretty tough. If you miss any, if you miss any rings, then it's pretty hard to recover from, because the next ones can just decide not to work for you. It just seems like the game decides whether or not to grant you passage, or you lose 30 seconds. But I think both these guys are pretty good at it. We shouldn't see any mistakes. Nice front sub. 2 for 2. Yep.
Front sub pretty much free for both these guys. Now, if we were in this game just to finish it up, you know, normally 70 stars we'd be done, but we are not done. We got 50 more stars to go. Fire Sea, all about that cycle.
Yeah, Liam and Punkay both doing the quote arc movement to get an earlier, comfier early cycle. Oh no, not a side flip for LiamKings. He can maybe make it, not anymore though. Punkay definitely looking to stand to gain some time here. I'm gonna have to go for regular early Ellies, and Punkay gonna get that lava boost. He's making it up right. Oh no, he didn't. Okay. Maybe I missed something and he wasn't early enough, but I think he was, and he just missed the long jump.
Yeah, that looked like a missed long jump from my end. Just wasn't lined up correctly. A little bit cleaner of a Fire Sea on Punkay's side.
Yeah, I don't know. They were both like, not terrible though. Didn't have any meltdowns. You know, like if you have butter or chocolate in Fire Sea, it's probably melted down by the time you get to the first red, but Mario made of a little bit tougher stuff. Liam with the 3/4 spin grab. And this is still so close.
Well, we've got about 40 minutes left of this race. Still, I mean, I don't think they've been separated by more than 15-20 seconds this whole time.
This has been insane. Like, I can't even believe, first of all, that they've both been playing this well. Even they've had some big mistakes, they haven't really been able to... No one's, like, completely thrown it away. It's still so close.
Yeah, just a little bit of spaghetti. Just enough to, you know, put it on your sandwich, make a nice little meatball spaghetti sandwich. But not enough for, like, a dinner, per se.
I can get behind that.
But when you talk about those manta rings, you know, they can be kind of weird, but neither guy having any problems with them at all. Heading back over into this second section.
Yeah, this is kind of the calmer part of Dire Docks. The 100 coin is definitely where all of the marbles go down. That doesn't even make sense. I don't even know what I thought in my head, well, that it would make sense. But this is kind of the slower part. Just getting ready for upstairs, and it is looking to be like a 104 upstairs, which is like definitely 140 pace. So considering this is like a relay and a no reset attempt, that is pretty sick. I like Mario. One more star, and it's going to be possibly the least interesting in DDD. It's like this TCM Snowman's head. All right. So I think our swimming ASMR is over, and then we're gonna get up to the wet dry world and THI before the final switch of the run, where we're gonna have Cheese and Parrot take over to bring it home.
Yeah, pretty close to that last trade-off. But as you see, Liam heading into Fire Seed, 2 head upstairs, Punkay following closely behind. You know, as we get deeper into this run, you know, heading towards Tippy, obviously, Rainbow Ride, TTC, and of course, you've got Winged Mario Over the Rainbow. You've got to grab all of those stars. The level of difficulty increases as you go up, obviously, from here.
Yeah, for sure. Cheese, you know, showing his support for that 104 uptime for both runners, and they're still like nowhere near, like they're 6-7 seconds apart, and we're an hour and 5 minutes in. So once again, this is insane. I'm so happy it's gone like this, but on the same page, like, it's not very likely a relay race comes this close. This is actually a tough star though. Downtown is definitely something where you lose a little bit of time just by the ending, and maybe just do some bad swimming. So Liam getting that long jump over and very clean, actually not getting a ground pound. Punkay missing that side flip. Camera's a bit wonky here, so we'll see if he can get the good ending. Ledge grab. So yeah, a couple seconds lost for both.
Yeah, Punkay also missing the Vanish Cap. Liam showing off this new movement, this new-ish movement for this kind of elevator star. You know, you instead of ground pounding onto the block as you head down, you kick it beforehand.
Yeah, we've seen Sack still do that on the qualifiers. Liam as well, picking that strat up. A lot of the time, it's just kind of one person does it. Like, I think Draws did it first, and then other people are like, yeah, I don't know. I think this could work. And then just put a little bit of work in, and you get the time save. Even though it's not much for this one, it's still pretty cool. Triple jump wall kick again for LiamKings. Good. Punkay, also good. It's very difficult, by the way, the triple jump wall kick there. All right, a bit of a bonk there for Liam. Coming to those secrets. Punkay is actually maybe a frame into the good here. Walking off the box. This star is super cool to watch. And Liam missing that wall kick there. Maybe trying to go too fast. He knows what's at stake. Punkay's got it where it counts, but Liam is definitely not wanting to let him get in this lead.
Oh, Punkay now. Oh, Punkay missing that long
Whoa.
jump. Wow, that is critical right there. You know, he had the lead and completely miffed that long jump. Really unfortunate to see. Good backup, you know, good backup management, but losing the lead once again. Liam taking care of hundreds now. Wet dry world.
Yeah, that was huge. So Punkay, you know, he's still pretty close behind, but he had, you know, he had the claw for a few seconds of a lead, but he just kind of lost it all right again, like right as soon as he got it. All right, so everyone, you know, we're getting really into the thick of it. If you want to predict the winning team and the final time, and you get it right somehow, I'll give you a sub. So get your predictions in. You can, I'll give it to you if you miss by like 2 seconds either way. So like a 5-second window pretty much. All right, Liam coming to the town. This is a pretty hot part of the run, and for good reason. A lot of people really love this area. It's just such fun movement. Nice side flip into that double jump ground pound for LiamKings. And this ending is pretty cool. You'll actually go over the corner to initiate an instant double jump because you kind of cancel your falling. Because if you fall off a ledge and jump, you'll get a double jump, and you just brush right off a ledge there, so you don't even waste any time at all. So good ending there. Okay, can he match it? That was a pretty hot downtown. All right, I got to go through so many messages here.
I'm trying to save some of them for you.
I'm just gonna like Control F like in the VOD once this is over. See if anyone got it.
Fair way of doing it. Punkay getting this 100 and reds. Liam avoiding any amps, just taking that little secret around.
And that's it for Wet Dry World. One last stage for LiamKings and Punkay. And then that is going to be it for them.
Well, and it's THI, which this stage, you know,
It sucks.
either you love it or you hate it. I think for the most part, people just hate this stage just because of the way that it's kind of mismanaged in this weird way. Good secrets there from Liam to start. Punkay having to back it up, though. Not having a great start. Missing the second secret. Brief Meowie. Thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate it.
All right, LiamKings with the ledge go there. Punkay going really safe on these secrets with a lot of kicks. Gonna lose a little bit of time here for both of them, but probably about the same relative to each other. As long as he doesn't ledge grab here, and he's good.
Liam gonna be taking care of this, you know, the toughy one is this 100 coins.
Yeah, this is probably the most RNG heavy of the stars in the run.
And you gotta be super careful because if you hit those Goombas without ground pounding them, you're losing 4 coins. The only way that you get a blue coin is if you ground pound them.
All right, nice double kill on the beach. Getting that coin before a win in the water. Pretty good stuff here. And Liam is actually going to be able to skip or successfully convert that pull skip route. Punkay is going to need every coin as well here. Missing the long jump, going for a swim. That's not going to do him any favors. Lag 2 going to be raining hail like it's D-Day or something out here. Okay, never mind. Got to get this fly guy, though. Chasing him up the beach. So evasive is the fly guy here. Gonna have to kill the Koopa and go for a shell attack, bringing out the heavy artillery.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Especially with the movement that the fly guy has, it's difficult to really just nail him down. But Liam taking care of it pretty easily. Punkay able to mitigate a disaster. Kevin Crunch coming in with 14 viewers and the host. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I didn't even get to talk about the cave, but if you die in the cave, you probably lose more time there than any other death in the run because it's like 2 minutes into the star, and then you kind of have to do the whole thing over again. Both of them getting through it though. And we have a wiggler clip here, Liam going through here. You actually want to be farther to the right than for the top of the island mountain clip because then you don't pop out of the water, you can just swim in the floating zone. They're always talking about carrying noobs. Alright, good hits from LiamKings. That mini boss isn't difficult, but you can lose plenty of time there because of just the spacing of the hits. Clean wriggle clip from Punkay. So Liam got out of there as soon as Punkay entered. So out of maybe like 20 seconds of a lead.
As Punkay is finishing up this wiggler fight, Liam gonna be scaling this mountain, going for that mountain clip one more time.
Really nice execution there. Only saving about half a second over going around. But, you know, movement saves minutes, and that's some good movement. Two stars left for LiamKings, both of them pretty easy. Gonna kind of coast this one out. Liam doing so well in this relay. Some PogChamps out for LiamKings. Coming up out here. Thank him for participating and putting on quite a nice performance here. Putting the team, I would say, still on 140 pace. Because I don't know what the upstairs has been so far. Like a couple minor mistakes, but I'd say like still definitely 140 on the cards.
Well, so far Liam's put the team on the back. If you want to put it that way, you know, just really showing up. Only a couple of minor mistakes, but holding on to this lead as he goes to hand it off to Cheese.
All right, last star for Liam here, the Koopa race. Punkay getting that Piranha star out of the way, but then he'll be on star number 88, which will be his last.
As Liam finishes up this, and Para as Punkay as well, this will be the last star for both of them. And Cheese. Cheese and Para will be finishing this up.
This would be a really juicy showdown in Tippy because Pear and Cheese definitely both like want to beat each other. And at the same time, they're both like really good in Tibby. Pear is more of like a Rainbow Ride specialist as well with those glitchy wall kicks and all that. She's more of just a really consistent player in the end game as well. You'll probably see some nutty cloud stage strats. They both like to fly over the second red, which is super risky for races as well. All right, shoutouts to Punkay. Nice run from him. Pear's got a little bit of catching up to do, but still, the team is in good stead here. And Punkay showing off some of that mid-game consistency.
Yeah, that breezeless. Really beautiful. Para, where's he going? Where's he going?
Where are you going?
Where's he going?
Would
Okay,
you
so
like a map?
instead of taking it down, he's just going to head straight back downstairs. Going to be heading back up into TTM, giving Cheese a significant lead now here into the end.
We thought caught up Para like carrying noobs. I wonder who the noob is.
Wow.
But whatever.
What a way to...
He didn't say that, but like he said, he just quoted Para.
What a way to start the end of this amazing relay race that we've seen so far. Cheese doing a really, really nice job here in TTM as we saw that happen. Para with the breezeless as well, though.
Nice. You know, maybe Team Cyclops is an elaborate metaphor. You know, you have to have full focus. So if you have like two eyes, you know, maybe you can like try to multitask. I know that's not how it works, but full focus on breezes. No doubt in his mind that he'd get it. All right, ball kicks or log ball kicks going all right for Cheese here. He's got to do the monkey glitch here. Grabbing the monkey can be kind of tough. He's got it though. Does see raw? Might have made it a bit tougher, but he still got the timing. Insta clip for Para. All right, good monkey glitch for Cheese. Para is 1 star behind because he did breeze this first, so he's going to go do monkey glitch now. Well, actually, no. I think Cheese did breeze as well, so like, I forget that.
Cheese making his way over to this mushroom. Just a little funny box jump. Getting his way up there. Para, nice job scaling the mountain, grabbing a little chimp.
Splice! Just kidding.
Relay splice.
You won't catch me sleeping.
Cheese
Stay
taking. She's gonna take care of his 100s.
Nice rollout.
Really nice rollouts. You know, that's sketchy. You know, if you don't get that correctly, it's really.
Yeah, he may do whatever prod with that red coin maze. Shoutouts to D whatever. Punky, nice box jump. She's gonna be going into the slide. This is probably the hardest slide because the bends are a bit tighter and also like you kind of rock back and forth when you just want to go collect a few coins, so you got to get a feel for it. And the C up slide there is kind of when you press C up when you go on the slide for the first time. Lets you gain a little bit more speed on that large, like the really long straight slope. Para looking pretty spicy here. Going for that alternate movement with the double jump wall kick in the maze. This is actually a bit faster. But this is also going to skip a red coin, so he won't have a star spawn. He's going to do it at the end once he gets out of the maze. He's going to grab his... He's going to grab the last red coin to be the 100th coin, which he's going to kill the ball bomb.
Well, Para, a little interesting there. You know, we saw Cheese on Cheese's end. Really nice lag reduction as he was taken care of.
Oh, this is bad. He's got a belly slide. He's got to get out of this right now. He can clip over a ledge and get back into a butt slide, but he's got to like... Actually, I think he's fine. He doesn't need a jump. He just falls off here. All right, we're good. False alarm, but that could have been really scary. You can also, if you don't cancel your C-up slide soon enough, you'll fly right through the wall and die, which would have been way worse. So I think it's fine. I don't know. He might even meant to do that. I'll have to ask him.
Well, into SL. Cheese taking care of the snowman's head. Really nice movement there. Tough because the wall kicks that you have to do can be kind of weird. If you take a fall, the backup for it is just as difficult.
All right, Igloo here. Pretty tough star for how short it is.
Oh, jeez. Just diving right past that star. He looks like he was just beneath it and to the right. So obviously Mario not able to grab it from that angle. Para taking care of Snowman's head. Right there.
Missing that dive onto the snow. Gonna lose a bit of time on this star. Not too bad. But Para, you know, maybe he can catch up a little bit.
Here we go!
All right, not the cleanest igloo from Para either, but he's at least gonna get the star. Now, also I want to point out, Para does a very unique 100 coin. It's not much faster, like half a second, but it looks really, really cool. When he gets out of the igloo, he's gonna do an alternate movement where he's gonna do some slides on these big slopes Cheese is around right now, and that's gonna send him right to the snowman, or like right to the box here where he's gonna be getting this star. He's gonna get right to the other box to get the shell. Alright, Cheese on 100 coin. This is a big RNG fest, even more so than THI, which is why a lot of people really don't like this star. But you gotta do it anyway, and you have to make the best of what you get. Cheese missing the punch, going into the water. It's very cold. You actually will lose health more quickly in the water. Well, you lose health whether you're underwater or not, but yeah, it'll get drained pretty quick. Para, let's go. Getting that coin from the spin drift here, and going backwards to go up the slide. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, these money bag coins are just so difficult. RNG seems to be a little bit more aggressive with those in particular.
Alright, Cheese finishing up that 100 coin and went pretty well, I think. We'll see how Para handles this movement here. Oh yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. That was sick. I love that route a whole lot. I think it's just so cool that he wants to go for it.
Really nice RNG on Para's side, easily guiding him straight towards that. That one red.
This is the last star before Tippy for Cheese. It's just going to be killing the bully. One of the easiest ones. And then we're going to go up to Cloud Stage. And I don't know if he's going to try for the BLJ. Fondly also known as Wilco Clip. I know Para will do it, but it's a possible difference of time. Or possible time save for Para if he gets it first try and Cheese doesn't go for it. Oh, he's going for it.
He's doing it.
Oh, wow. That was perfect.
Wow. Really, really nice. Wilco clip shout outs to
somehow
the myth, the legend, Wilco.
Somehow in 16 people lose runs all the time, and in 120 it's like free. Alright, nice fight over the second coin there, Cheese. No fear. If you land there, you probably fall off and you go all the way outside to the castle courtyard. So let me say you don't want to fall there.
Well, the next difficult part is going to be right here. This cannon shot. You know, there's a coin near some poles. You want to avoid getting a pole grab.
This should be on the next cannon shot. If he wants to go for the direct shot into the coin, or if he wants to land on top of the cloud. Para insane Wilco clip. What is going on? I don't understand. Missing the castle movement, but still, I'm so like blown away. Alright, Para gonna go fly over the coin, getting it as well. Alright, good start for Cheese. And Para gonna do the last maybe 30 seconds of this one. So right now, Cheese has a big enough lead. He just needs to focus on consistency. But at the same time, you can never guarantee anything in Tippy.
Well, it's TTC and Rainbow Ride. Well, right there. Missing the
2 wall kicks.
Wall kicks there for the start of 100s here in TTC.
Yeah, you got a safety red as well to make sure you didn't have to worry about RNG later on.
Pretty nice midsection for this 100s. Moving close now into this scary section, 70, 80, 90 coins.
You didn't even need to get those. It's kind of crazy. But the point of it is to not have to worry about this box right here for 90 coins. So Cheese gonna have to get every single one. And he's missed one. Okay, it's all good. Alright, good presence of mind there for Cheese. Para not gonna take that safety red. He doesn't need it.
Gonna be hoping that RNG is on his side. Cheese with the wall kicks up to thwomping the womp. We don't actually thwomp the womp.
You stomp the thwomp.
Or stomp the thwomp, whatever. Para into this critical section now as well. Big
That
thing.
was so scary.
Yeah. Just right on the edge of that. Oh, not avoiding the invis wall there.
I love invisible walls too. Almost as much as I love Benny. They just make my day. Alright, I just want to talk about like when Para got the 70 box of coins. Like the thought process in his mind was complete confidence and like to take risks whether they pay off or not, because that movement nearly killed him. But like he was able to just barely get that dive rollout and not die. I can't even believe it happened. It was just so bold. Just, you know, shout outs to him, but like even if it wasn't the right decision to do, he still made it work.
Oh
no, he's fallen off. Can you save it? He's dead.
Yeah, so Para unfortunately taking a death here in TTC, gonna be succeeding some time here with Cheese. Cheese, who is carefully and methodically taking care of these stars.
Yeah, he's probably got about a minute to work with in terms of a lead right now. So it's really, the ball's in his court. Although that's kind of a cliche. But nice ledge grab skip for Para. Doing that double jump instead of a side flip's a lot harder. And a thirsty off of that wall.
Actually, to note, that was our first death in this whole run.
Yeah, you're right.
So that, I mean, that's just telling you how good these guys are. That in this relay race, that's been the first death in an hour and a half of running.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. But Cheese, he's got a 2-star lead. And Red Coins is the last star before Rainbow Ride, you know, where teams go to die.
Well, and let's talk about Rainbow Ride for a moment. You know, will we see
No.
carpetless?
No. No. No!
The carpetless meme continues.
I hate you! I forget. Freaking episode 3 of Star Wars. Anyway, enough for that bad movie. Let's get into a good stage. Alright, so Rainbow Ride 100's pretty tough. Fly Guy not having anything to do with that one.
Yeah, that was close to a death there on Cheese's side, just narrowly getting that ledge grab.
Killing that lack 2, not getting those coins though. He's got to do another loop around. Ooh, this is pretty tough. Lots of circles around these platforms.
Well, the platform is spinning, and you know the RNG of the coins can be difficult just to manage that. Para taking care of TTC, gonna be heading over, talking to Toad, and then heading into Rainbow Ride.
Yeah, those are really clean reds from Cheese. Para here able to finish up TikTok clock, but he's pretty far behind. He's gonna need a big mistake from Cheese to get back into this one. Alright, on the carpet now. It's pretty easy going from here. unless you like do something really stupid. They're missing 1 coin from the fly guy, but it's still pretty decent to actually get something from him, unlike Cheese. Alright, coming up here. Now, this is a small time save here to get the coins from the lack too. But Cheese had pretty good red coins as well. See, look at all those coins he got. That was like great RNG as well.
Yeah, Para doing what he can to make up some time. You know, Cheese needing to stall, but missing that one red. Gonna back it up with that right at the very bottom. Nothing too terrible. Punching straight through the pink bomb on.
Okay, so not perfect. He's got to figure out this camera. Okay, he's good. Oh no, he's not good at all! Para falling all the way down! Bob, I'm running him into the corner! Hysteria on the Team Cyclops corner of the ring. Alright, he's finally made it on the carpet, but that was a pretty big time loss. Hysteria was a weird word choice. I don't know what I was going for.
I thought you were talking about Muse for a moment. The band.
I'm trying to think, because I've listened to them, but I don't remember what song.
Hysteria. They have a song called Hysteria.
Oh, you're right.
But Cheese taking care of those 100s and that very top of Rainbow Ride Star, top of the house.
Yeah. Lactose balance for Cheese. He's kind of doing the poverty glitchy wall kick, where it's like, seems pretty consistent for him, but it's faster than the regular method. Alright, good cruiser. Para is still chilling on the carpet. You can't do anything to speed it up, so knowing he's pretty far behind right now can't be too fun for him.
She's taken care of. Oh no, not taken care of. Black to bounce a second time. I'm gonna have to go for a third time. I'm gonna be going for reds instead, but
Getting some mistakes from here. The bottom as well. He can't even get around him. Alright.
Alright, now taking care of reds.
And then dive on the slope.
That slope is just so finicky. It's weird, you know. You're like a pixel off and you don't get the backslide.
Right, Cheese with 3 stars left to go in Rainbow Ride. He had a pretty bad star there, but he hasn't died yet. And if you can get this, I can do about Para missing glitchy walkie. That's another death for him. Alright, Cheese gonna have to go up to the cannon here this time. A bit of a longer lack 2 bounce star, but able to grab the pole. And not going the best.
I wasn't able to get that wall kick.
That's scary.
Off the pole, but able to take care of it. Para following behind doing the same star.
I'm a little disappointed, I guess, Psionic, but you know, I would never get great reds in a run anyway. I want to see more people try to do the jump kick ending though. Nice triangles for Cheese. A really fast long jump out of the cage. Or the eagle nest. Aaron missing those walkies as well. Both him and Cheese have struggled a little bit on lack 2 bounds, and another miss. I think he's trying to go too fast right now, but it's not really working out.
Yeah,
this is kind of just being a tilt factor.
He's just got to climb to the top of this pole. You know, not try to rush it too much.
This is on pace to be like a 140-20, which would be insane. I think that's right. Like if he has the perfect sky.
Yeah, well, she's heading into bits. You know, the very end of this, and he takes care of these reds very, very nicely. You know, he's very consistent with it.
He's not gonna get that past the cycle.
Oh, he was
close.
No, dude, he was right on the edge of that.
Oh, what? The elevator did not cooperate with him there.
Weird. It looked like he got a ledge grab, and just, you know, as the platform turns, obviously it has a leg on that platform, so flipping Mario.
Smooth flame skip for Cheese. Coming on to the last half of the star. Alright, we'll see what he's got here. Doing some jump kicks over here to stall his momentum a little bit. Some fast speed kicks here. This pull grab's tough. You gotta grab it from the bottom, which means you have to press B really fast to grab it. If you don't grab it on the first frame when you like attempt to time it. He's got it. Alright, he is definitely on 140 pace still, avoiding that Goomba. Not to jinx it, but this is looking like a really sick run from Team Congo. And Para getting his 119th star, gonna be entering Sky as Cheese quite possibly wraps up this run and the W.
Yeah, just 3 throws away. Para heading into bits as well. 1 for 1 so far. Cheese 2 for 2.
And the third throw, right on the money. You would never guess he missed a Bowser throw in his life. What a legend. A 140 in the relay. Probably as good of like a relay time as there ever like could be. I can't think of anything that's beaten that by a mile.
140-29 on Team Congo's side, taking the dub. Para gonna be finishing this up.
Like, that's just incredibly good. I don't know what happened this run, but like I noticed several mistakes even, but just the overall level of gameplay and consistency star to star was really, really good. Well, like a 140, like that would put him in like, that would be like that's better than the 7th place time on the leaderboard.
Both Liam and Cheese showed up. Liam in a big way, obviously, through that midsection, taking on Punkay, giving Cheese the opportunity to hold on to the lead as they moved into that end section past THI. But Para and Punkay showing up as well, looking like they'll get a very, very low 142.
Now I gotta go check if anyone actually predicted the right time.
Hopefully we can get a 6 for 6. Para 1 for 1 so far. 2 for 2. And unfortunately, missing that third and final throw, so we will not get a 6 for 6.
Yep. It's gonna be a 142 here for Team Cyclops. But still, just have like that be the losing time is really impressive. Alright. Thank you, first of all, for all of you watching here. I hope you had a great time. We're gonna get some interviews from these legendary 120 runners.
Yeah.
Jeez. Para, what's up? I guess we'll go ahead and start with Cheese, since you did the 2nd and 4th segments. You know, the last segment and Tippy went really well. How did you feel closing that one out?
Good. I had a good Tippy. I had a good 2nd segment overall, so I was happy about that one because I'm usually not that good at closing off, I don't think. But Liam, I think carried more than I did. My first segment wasn't great, and I made that big mistake in HMC. which I think if I didn't, it might have actually been a 139, which would have been the sickest thing ever.
Now, I want to ask about that second section in particular. So, if Cheese and Pero, if you want to talk, about it for a moment, it was synced up for like a good solid 10 minutes through that second section.
Oh, you mean the basement section?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we both played like really bad in basement.
Yeah, basement was not great, but Vanish Cap and CCM were okay, and I think after that, it was DDD was insane. That sync and DDD was back and forth, and then after DDD was when things started changing.
DDD was hype. Like for a section that's it's
Not
so
hype.
slow. I thought it was pretty hype. So seeing you guys kind of trade it back and forth, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think even if I had a good like finish, I probably still wouldn't have won. Cheese made like fairly minimal mistakes, and we were pretty far behind. Like even without the whole THI re-entry.
Well, what happened there exactly, if you don't mind?
Oh, I set up the camera to re-enter because it was like just muscle memory, and yeah, I don't know. I held down and long jumped.
It's all good.
But yeah, like even without that, I probably wouldn't have won either way. So.
Well, Liam and Punke, starting off this race, kind of walk us through like how it was starting this off, knowing that it was a relay race and that you had to kind of set the tone.
I always get super nervous for these races, especially Womps, because it's like you can't reset, obviously, so you don't really want to like fail Owlus or Canalus or 100 coin or something. But my beginning was pretty good except for like BOB. I think it was a mid 23, which is pretty good for no LBLJ, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And Punke?
I have this whole relay. My ghost hunt was really sick, and that was about it. Like my overall gameplay was like pretty mediocre. Like lots of like really silly things happening, and I guess my first segment was like okay. I don't remember what I got. It was like a high 23 something, and I don't know. Just some really silly things happened, like in THI, like what happened there, like THI secrets. What happened there is I didn't think I was grabbing the first secret, so I like turned around, but I actually got it. And one THI 100 coin is just I did like the faster route, which I'm not too used to. I screwed at the beginning, but the major screw up I did was when I just like didn't long jump after I killed the 3 Goombas next to the pole. I kind of had like a meltdown trying to kill the fly guy. And I don't know. My gameplay was decent. At least I didn't lose like 20 plus seconds in DDD 100, I guess.
Yeah, that DDD 100 was really hype from both.
Yeah.
It was back and forth.
Is it just me, or did Liam play like ridiculously well in this relay?
Yeah, I think Liam played the best out of all of us.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Like the segments I had compared to like basement and Tippy are not, they're like a lot easier, so it makes a little bit of sense, but just like no huge mistakes, I guess. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really sick.
Yeah, my main problem is just I kept on doing these really silly things that kind of shouldn't happen, but oh well.
Well, any final comments from any of you guys before we head on out of here?
I love Penny.
Rematch at some point.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I
So-
think a
again
rematch.
sometime.
Rematch should be cool.
Yeah. So, Cheese said he's probably gonna do some non-stop 120. Or the other 3 of you probably still gonna be on that 120 grind? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be it for us. GG's to Team Congo, but Of course, thank you all you guys for showing up. That was an awesome race to watch, an awesome race for us to commentate. Make sure to check out exclamation point schedule to see the full schedule of everything that GSA has going on. Exclamation point bracket, see where all your favorite runners are at. Exclamation point YouTube or exclamation point YT for the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. All reruns. This race in particular also will be on there. Any clips that you might want to see, or if you just missed a race or you want to rewatch a race, it's all there. But that'll be it for us. Padronis, it's been a pleasure commentating with you, my man.
Yeah, this was a fantastic race to watch. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Cheese.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Well, I was having a whole lot of fun today. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And make sure that you are sticking around for the league starting this week. There's plenty more where that came from.
All right. Well, later we got some Paper Mario coming up soon. So if you're interested in that, make sure to stick around.
Peace.
We got the
Grand finals.
Season 2 tomorrow starting.
We do indeed. It's going to be Mario Odyssey tomorrow. Thursday, it's going to be Mario 64 and Celeste. Friday, more SM64. Saturday and Sunday, Mario Maker 2. So be there.